Hey, fashionistas, welcome to The Secrets of Stylish Women. This is a podcast for women 40 plus that is focused on life and talking about style. We are here today with the lovely, the wonderful Lauren Messiah, and we're going to get into a really amazing conversation. But before we do, a couple of things. I am your host, Lauren Simmons. I am a personal stylist and style strategist, and I focus on helping professional women 40 plus find their fabulous. And I am here today with a a woman who holds so many titles. I'm sure I'm going to forget one, but Lauren Messiah. Welcome, Laura. Lauren.
Hi.
So, Lauren Messiah is a woman that I stumbled upon during the pandemic. I was home just like the rest of you all, and I was trying to figure out okay, I have this job, but what else am I really trying to do with my life? So, during the pandemic, I did launch my personal styling business, but I found Lauren and I found all these amazing, cool videos that she has on YouTube, and I started following her. Then I found out at one point Lauren had a style school, and I was like, wait a minute, like I'm really trying to fine tune my skills and get things together. Where's this school? The school didn't exist anymore. But fortunately for me, I was able to get into a program that Lauren launched a couple of years ago. And we're going to talk about the program. We're going to talk about Lauren's life and all these other things. So, Lauren, you're also an author. You have so many things going on. So I'm going to take a minute because I've been running my mouth. Tell us about your tell me a little bit about yourself, Lauren.
I mean, like you said, I wear many hats. So, personal stylist for over 15 years. I started out doing celebrity styling, and that was not my cup of tea. So, moved on to working with just everyday women, entrepreneurs, moms in Hollywood, and then branched out, like, had clients in New York, and Florida, and Arizona, like all these different places, and then moved my business to be completely online after the success of my YouTube channel, which is how you found me. But I was like, oh my God, there's women everywhere that need me. So I started to build like online courses to teach women how to dress, online communities, all while simultaneously teaching stylists how to start their business. So I was doing that for 12 years in my former company that I exited at the end of 2020. And now I do that today through a bunch of programs that I create for stylists, including Style Boss Academy, and I do coaching and a zillion products because I want to create the best stylist in the world. I'm an author. I wrote a book called Style Therapy. I do TV appearances. I do consulting for businesses. I do a lot
You
of
do it
things.
all.
I do it all.
Yes. So where do you find time to do anything fun for yourself? I mean, you have a full plate, and I actually want to delve into a couple of things that you said. So you created this fantastic career. At this point, you are a bona fide mogul, right? But before you uh, got to this place, it had to start from a place where you realized you loved fashion. So take me back to Lauren Messiah, the young girl. And at what point did you figure out, okay, this style thing, like this is something that I really love?
I definitely fell in love with fashion when I was probably like 5 years old. So growing up, I mean, I still am a complete introvert, but I was very, very shy, could not communicate with people like at all. And I found that through clothing, I could. So my grandmother taught me how to sew when I was 5 years old. So I'd make clothes for my Barbies, you know, she would make clothes for me. Eventually, I'd be making clothes for myself. And as I started to get older, like in middle school and high school, people would talk to me about my clothes. I'm like, I could talk about that. you
Hmm.
know? So I slowly had this awareness of like, style is really powerful, especially in high school, because I never fit in. Like just growing up, I didn't fit in anywhere, like I'm mixed race. I grew up in a predominantly white area. So it's like the white kids were like, what's her deal? The black kids were like, she's not black enough. Like I just never quite fit. So I was able to use style to kind of like shape shift. And I had so
Hmm.
many varied interests. I'm like, oh, I'm punk rock. Now I'm goth. I'm also a cheerleader. I can hang out with the jocks. Like, so I had all types of friends, not close friends, but I just found my way everywhere. And I use style as really a gateway into these worlds. I use style to reinvent myself when I went to college. So I knew it was powerful.
Hmm.
And I knew that I had to do something professionally with fashion. So I
Hmm.
was like, started the fashion club in high school, put on fashion shows. I went to college for fashion design. Like, I just knew this is what I'm supposed to do something here.
Hmm. I can definitely relate to that. So it sounds like you were bitten by the fashion bug really early. And it's great that you can take something that you love so much and build this whole career around it. But you said something really interesting, and it's something that I kind of, really try to impart with my clients, like the power of style and your ability to use style as a tool to, even if you didn't intend to set out and start relationships with people. I find that if you craft your style in such a way or wear something unique, it really does help you break the ice and develop relationships. So I think the power of style is something that's really it's not revered enough. Like, I think, if more women embrace the power of style, they would realize that it's something that's so powerful and can really help essentially change your life.
100%. I think it's so funny when like celebrities get so angry when people interview them on the red carpet and they're like, "What are you wearing?" Like, you'd never ask a man that. It's like, dude, we should embrace the fact that for women especially, we can do so much with style
Hmm.
and appearance. And you can either demonize it and say it's stupid and it's a waste of money and it's blah blah blah, or you can be like, this is freaking awesome.
Hmm.
Like, not only do I get to be smart and powerful, I get to use my appearance to open doors and captivate people and build relationships. Like, why wouldn't you do that? It's fun.
Exactly. And it's something that every woman can do. Like, everyone doesn't have access to the most prestigious schools or the connections or this or the that. Like, but everyone has the opportunity. Every woman has the opportunity to improve her style. So it's like it's there for the taking. Why wouldn't you take advantage of it? It's just mind-boggling to me.
Right? Same. I'm like, duh, it's the most fun way to be a badass ever.
Hmm. So let's talk a little bit about the segue into your personal styling career. So you develop this, ability to shapeshift using your style, and you develop this ability to draw people to you. And shout out to the introverts out there, because I am one as well. But again, it's a tool. Like, if you don't want to talk, maybe your clothes will do the talking for you. So you develop these skills, and now you realize, wait a minute, I have the power to tap into something really transformative. Now I'm going to use this to help other women. Was this intentional, or did you kind of just fall into it?
Life is just funny because it will just guide you to where you're supposed to go, even if you don't think that you have a path. So when I went to college, I went to college to study fashion design. So I spent, 4 years in art school, design school, got out and realized, oh, you don't just get a ticket to like having your own clothing line in New York City. And I realized you didn't really make very much as a designer. I didn't really know like the path you had to work your way up. So I'm like, oh, this is what? No. So I ended up working retail after I graduated college. And that was really transformative because it felt like such a downgrade. Like, I went to school for fashion, I was about to take over the fashion world. And now I work at the mall that I used to hang out at when I was a kid. But working with women in the retail setting showed me like how exciting and how connecting style could be. So
Hmm.
I'd work with these women and be like, oh, I have a job interview, I need help with an outfit, or oh, I'm going on a date. So I would help them get dressed and see them light up and see them feel really good. And then think about, what if they go on that date and because they feel so good, they have a fantastic date and then they get married, and like, I had a little piece in that. Or what if they feel really good and they just crush their job interview and get the job? Like, I had a little piece in that. So the idea of dressing people became appealing then, but I still didn't know it was a job. There is no program in college It's
Mhm.
like, be a stylist. It was design or merchandising. So when the Rachel Zoe project came out in 2008, I was like, oh my God, you can dress people for a
Mhm.
living and you can dress celebrities and like, how exciting. So I ended up moving into that field of dressing celebrities. You got to work your way up. You got to be intern, you got to be an assistant. Oh my God, I hated dressing celebrities. Like I was going to do it because I really wanted to work in fashion.
Mhm.
But I was like, it's not as fulfilling as when I was working retail, but I'm not trying to work retail.
Mhm.
So when I had a woman say, I wish I were a celebrity so you could be my stylist, I was like, I can be your stylist. And I just put the celebrity experience on her as a real woman working in corporate America. And I
Mhm.
watched everything in her life change,
Mhm.
her confidence, her relationships. She started referring me to her boss, and her boss referred me to all of her friends. And I'm like, now this is a business I can get behind. And then I just started building it from there.
Isn't it interesting though, that you can take something that you love, and that comes so naturally to you and turn it into a business? Like for me as a personal stylist, as I, continue to build my business, it just boggles my mind. It's like, okay, I go into a store or I look at pieces and I can easily pull them together. And the fact that you can get paid for this.
Mm-hmm.
It's so it's so amazing, and it's really not, about the shopping piece. For me, it's about transforming or helping women to transform their lives, and you basically talked about that. So this client that you had, you were able to help her tap into this part of herself that she probably didn't even know existed, and it just manifested itself through this new sense of style. So what's your favorite part of working with women?
It's watching the result of the style, just like when you start your career, it's fun that you're like, oh my God, I get to spend the day at the mall. I
Mhm.
don't have to sit in a cubicle anymore. Because I worked, in addition to retail, I worked a 9 to 5. And that was just soul sucking. It's like, what am I doing here? Because I had to make money, I had to pay bills.
Mhm.
So in the beginning, it's exciting. I get to go shopping, I get to play dress up, play with clothes, but that stops being the most rewarding part because it also gets really exhausting. So to me, it was seeing the ripple effect. Like even that very first client, she saved up money to work with me. Like it was a big thing for her.
Mhm.
I'm still friends with her on Facebook, and I just see like she's married and she's has a kid, and like her whole life is just so full. And I'm not saying it's just because she hired me, but like I saw who she was before, and I saw how quickly she changed into this other person after
Mhm.
this short, like week long interaction we had with each other. And then just watch her continue to dress well and like do wonderful. I'm like, that is, that's the part.
Mhm. Mhm. And you know what's really interesting? Um, as a business owner, um, it is your job to show the value that you provide to people, but it's not your job to try to convince people of something that they're just not going to get. Like some women just get that, oh wow, this is a valuable service. This is something that can transform, my life. And in some cases, the engagement, like the style engagement and the style development itself can be more than the cost of the clothing or things like that, because it's really, I always say, like, shopping and clothing is the smallest part of the engagement.
Yep.
So when you think about the journey that a woman goes through when, working on her first styling engagement to the end of a, successful engagement, like to you, like how do you guide a woman through that quickly and like in a way that helps keep her self-esteem intact?
Yeah. So, for me, through working with clients, and it wasn't like the second I started my business, I knew how to do all of this stuff, but I'm just a person who I'm extremely self aware and I just observe and I analyze. And like, it's my greatest gift. And it's also the thing that can like annoy the shit out of people. It's just how I'm wired. So, just observing behavior and body language, I'm like, oh, like we need to take it here. So after a while, I really started combining personal development with style. So I'm like,
Mhm.
it's a personal development journey. So I'm helping my clients see themselves as they are right now, like the good,
Mhm.
the bad, the ugly. And I have to very quickly get to know the client on the deepest level possible. Like I have to know you like I've known you for 20 years after an hour of sitting down with you.
Mhm.
So when I realize that's what I need to know, I know how to ask the right questions. I know how to look for the right things. And so often my clients would be like, this was worth the whole entire thing. Before we even get to the close, they're like, this has been
Mhm.
worth the money, because nobody's ever sat down and helped people see themselves.
That's right.
A lot of people have to go through a lot of trauma and a lot of shit to actually discover who the hell they are and want to change it. So many people just walk through life just like completely blind. And to take someone through that, they're like, oh my gosh, I know
Mhm.
myself. And then they're much more receptive to putting on the clothing that represents the person that they forgot who they were, they couldn't see.
Yep.
So it's very much a process before the clothes even come into the picture.
Absolutely. And when we think about how you transitioned from working directly with women to working with women or people at a different level, like as a coach, I'm sure it's a similar concept. So just for full disclosure, I didn't say this earlier. I am a student and a client of Lauren. So I have experienced the coaching and the programs and even the tears. And I said to myself, I'm not going to cry, but I wound up crying earlier this year. So I think that's an initiation when you're in the program. But
I always say, I was like, y'all are going to cry. They're like, no, they're coming. But yeah, I mean, I'd say, I mean, you've been coached by me. I'm not traditional in any sense, whether it comes to coaching or styling women, because I'm here for change, even if it's going to hurt your freaking feelings, you know? And I just, I don't think enough people care enough about people's transformations. And I think the best stylists in the world do care,
Mhm.
and they're willing to do the work to help their clients really see the best, just really help someone bring themselves out. You have to like get in there and pull a bunch of trash out.
Mhm. So what would you say as, it can come from your personal styling, the personal styling leg of your career or the work that you're doing now. What would you say is your biggest mistake and what you learned from that?
I've made a lot of mistakes. It's hard to pinpoint the biggest one. You'd have to like put them into categories. But I'd say probably overall as a whole, you could even apply it to like dressing yourself or running your business, is forgetting your own magic and your own gifts. So, a mistake that I've made in my own business and in my own life, and I see my students and clients making it all the time, is they're looking outwardly to being like, oh, well, I have to run my business like that because so and so is making so much
Mm,
money. Or I have to dress like this because so and so has this life and this car and this house and this job. So I better go follow that path. And then
mhm,
once you get off the path, you kind of get lost in the woods and forget who the heck you are. So whether it's style or it's business, it's always about like coming back home. So
mhm,
whenever I find myself like something doesn't feel right in my business, or something doesn't feel right in my style, or something doesn't feel right in my hair or whatever, it's like, oh, I like left. Like I left the
mhm,
building. I left myself. I left God. I just left. I just pieced out and was chasing something else. So I'd say that is just my biggest mistake of like, oh, I'm going to change my business strategies to be like this. No, like come
mm,
home. And that's
mhm,
why when I coach my students, everything's so, I can teach things in a very step by step 1, 2, 3, as you know. But the closer I can get to you, it's like, girl, we're pulling out who you are. We're pulling out
mhm.
your magic and we're designing your business around your magic. I don't care what you saw. I don't care what the other coach told you. Like, we're coming home.
Or even what the other stylists or influencers doing. So that's something that we work through together because it's like, when you build your business and you do programs and things like that, some things are formulaic, but you really have to come face to face with yourself and say, Who am I and what am I trying to do?" Because my program and the way I do things and the women that I serve, it may not resonate with a certain type of woman and vice versa. And just getting rid of the blocker. Like, there's a woman out there, or there are plenty of women out there who are receptive to my style and the way I think about style and the way I put things together. And that's really like one of those mindsets that you have to get past, because you sit here and think, "Oh, my business has to be this." But no, actually it doesn't. It has to be representative of who I am, how I can best serve my clients, and what's going to work for them. And so blocking out that noise, that's really a big thing.
Yeah. And no matter what level you're at, I found is like there's always a new level of noise, a new level of shiny object syndrome, another, and you're constantly having to like bring yourself back.
Hmm.
That's my mistake, is if I go off for too long, the longer I've been in business, I can catch myself a lot quicker and be like, oh, nope. But the longer you stay out, it's like you waste money, you take on the wrong clients, you
Hmm.
waste money on the wrong clothes. Like it just gets messy.
So clothes, you said the magic word. What I did want to ask you is, as a younger woman, what were your favorite styles, or what was your favorite era while coming up?
Mm. I wouldn't say I had one, because I was so captivated by the idea of like changing yourself. And I
Mm.
think I had to come out of that to really step into my personal style as it is now. Because I just remember like Madonna, like growing up, Madonna, every new album, it was a new look.
Hmm.
Now she's spiritual Madonna, and now she is, religious Madonna. Now she's slutty Madonna. Now she's
Hmm.
dominatrix Madonna. And I'm like, it's so cool. You can just be whoever the heck you want to be. So it wasn't about like, oh my gosh, I resonate with this era. I resonate with this
Mm.
culture. It's like, I resonate with not being me and being
Mm.
whoever the hell I need to be to fit in with other people, because I just wanted to
Mm.
find my place. So over the years, as I've really figured out who I am, I'm just like, I've entered, style nirvana, aka
Mm.
the no fuck zone of just like, I'm going to wear what makes me happy. I don't care if it's old, new, in style, makes sense, because I've
Yeah,
just I found who I am. And
that's interesting.
that changes. And then your style will
Yes.
change with it, of course. But it's like, yeah, just again, blocking out that noise.
Hmm. So right now you have on, is that an Iron Maiden t-shirt?
Yep.
So t-shirts, and what are your good go-to pieces?
I mean, I love like unique denim. I have so much denim in my closet. And like right now, at the time of this recording, I'm 18 weeks pregnant. And and that has been a whole style, just like, what? Like, what? So, really working on being able to represent who I am in my style while being pregnant, because
Hmm.
guess what? Like, all maternity jeans are dumb looking, like,
Yeah.
but hella comfortable, but they're made for everyone. So it's just plain jeans. And my style type is interesting jeans and weird denim. So going out and finding cool denim and sizing up and making things happen and still being able to
Hmm.
wear the tops that I want to wear and the jewelry and all the things. But yeah, like I'm very much casual, like at my core. I'm like street at my core, and just like different. Like I love rock and roll, I love hip hop, I love all the things. So I'm happiest in a concert tee and like some designer jeans and my Crocs.
I saw some other, I know I've sent you some things in the past. I was going to send you some other Croc stuff, and I'm like, this is getting ridiculous now. Like, when is it going to end?
I kind of have like one go-to pair. I have like a designer pair that don't look like Crocs, but like the base of them is Crocs for the
Hmm.
comfort. That's kind of like been my go-to. But yeah, like I just want to be free, and I want to be me, and I want to be comfortable, and I want to express who I
Hmm.
am. The older that I've gotten, or maybe it's just how the industry has changed, Like designers have lost their freaking mind. They've lost their mind with the prices. They're not
Yeah.
unique anymore. Every season it's like, really, Gucci, the loafers again, really?
Mhm.
Except you've marked up the price like times
Mhm.
10.
Mhm.
No, like I'm just like not into being a slave to designer fashion. It's just like what makes me feel good. I have on jeans from the
Yeah.
Gap today and I feel just as good as my $1,000 Attico jeans.
So what's your favorite high-end brand?
It always changes like based on the season. You know, there
Okay.
was a couple of years ago, I was like anything like Gucci, Balenciaga, because I like the designer for Gucci. Now Gucci's like hella boring to me right now. You know, like at one point it was like I just wanted all like vintage Dior and Fendi from like the 90s. Now I'm like, I have my fill of that. So trying to think like who I really filter when I'm searching designer. Like I said, I haven't really been shopping though. It's probably Gautier, like
Okay.
Gautier, Margiela. Those are probably
Okay.
like where I'm landing right now in like my top two.
And what's your favorite cheap brand?
Cheap brand. Good question. I don't really have like a go-to cheap brand. If I'm gonna be more like budget conscious, like I'll want to like dig around and like thrift or vintage and just like kind of go like where something's gonna find me. Like the other
Okay.
day, I went to the Gap and I was looking at baby clothes, but I said, "Ooh, like let me go in the men's department." I found like awesome cargo pants, like camo cargo pants, and then the women's department, I was like, "Oh my god, these jeans are dope," and they're like $40. So like yesterday, it was the Gap. Tomorrow, I don't know
Mhm.
what it will be.
And see, to me, that's the hallmark of great style. I think designer labels are great, particularly for something that's well made and has like interesting construction, things like that. But for me to chase labels just for the sake of chasing labels, to me that's against what I stand for. I'll pay for whatever, um, if it's if it's something I like, whether it's designer or not, or if it's cheap. Like to me, the real art comes in when you combine different elements that are interesting or create a new shape or texture, things like that. That's what style to me is about, and that's what I like to try to show my clients. I find that a lot of women get so stuck in this matches this and this goes with this, and it's like you can actually wear these colors or these textures, you can do other things, like you don't have to just do one thing, and to me that's what style is all about, like bringing that out.
Yeah, and it's an evolution as well, which is another thing that I've realized as my style's grown and observing so many of my clients. And there's all of these stages, right? There's the stage of I don't care about style, I'm above style, I don't need style. And then something happens and they realize, oh, maybe I do need this. So then it's the hump of like, I just need to get accustomed to actually paying attention to dressing myself. And that's when we're getting kind of basic outfits and we might be buying more fast fashion or things on sale just to start getting used to it. And then we move into a phase where we start valuing fashion more and we
Hmm.
up level to contemporary brands. And then we start to see like, oh, really paying attention to my style. I'm making more money in my career. And then there's the stage of, oh, I got money now. It's like the new money vibes where you buy your first designer bag and you start tasting quality and you see this and that. And
Hmm.
then you get to the stage where you're like, I don't need to prove myself with labels. Like there's all these things. And then you get into the era where you embrace more of creativity and self expression in
Hmm.
yourself. And that's when you start bringing in, let me mix and match textures. Let me understand quality that I can get jeans at the Gap and realize like these are just as dope as $1,000 jeans.
Hmm.
But oftentimes, potential clients will see the end. So
Yes.
they'll see your style and like, oh, how do I get there? And it's too much for their brain to comprehend. So it's
Hmm.
either they're going to go through the stages and eventually get there, or they're going to shortcut it and they're going to get a stylist who's really skilled that can help them move up faster. But every stage is necessary. I had to go through every stage to build my style. I don't think I could have gone from zero to fully self-expressed because there's so much
Mhm.
internally that has to happen too.
Mhm. And a big piece of that is confidence, and I know that it's an overused term, but, for some women, they just don't have the confidence to even consider wearing certain items of clothing or to see themselves looking good, and it's like part of that like, I don't know, it's like a chicken egg kinda thing because you kinda have to have confidence to wear the stuff, but then wearing the stuff gives you confidence, so it's like I don't know. You have to show people like, you know what? You can actually wear that and here's how. Like, hey, here's how to change it so that it makes sense for you, for your body type or your lifestyle or whatever it is. But I think most women, no one teaches us how to dress. We get our cues from social situations or our parents or our families or whatever we think we're supposed to be wearing. And few of us really take a step back and say, wait a minute, this is my life. This is who I am. This is what I want to wear. Or, you know what? Even in some cases, this whole idea about body shape, like a proponent of trying to balance the bottom and top, but not everyone wants to do that, or not everyone has a shape that's conducive to that. But it's really about getting to a point where you're comfortable with who you are and just saying, fuck it. If my body is shaped like this, but I want to wear this anyway, and you feel good about it, then that's really the goal.
Yeah, it's funny. Literally, right before this podcast, I was recording content for my new program, OK Body, which is about body image, style, like tying all of these things together. And in the lesson, I was teaching about body image, confidence, and self esteem. Because a lot of times as stylists, we muddle the three things together, especially self esteem and confidence. And like you said, it's kind of an overused word of stylist confidence. I want to give them, you need confidence. Da, 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 da. But confidence is really the knowing that you have the ability. It's like having faith in your ability to do something,
Hmm.
but you can't have that without self esteem. So self esteem is about worth. So if a client doesn't feel worthy of being
Hmm.
seen, if a client doesn't feel worthy of wearing clothes because their body is a certain way, they don't feel worthy of spending a certain amount of money, whatever it is, they can't be confident because they don't feel good in their ability to do so because they don't feel worthy. Well, I can't wear that outfit because I'm not worthy because my body is, shaped like this. Well, I don't feel worthy because to have confidence in your clothes, you have to spend money on clothes. And I don't feel worthy to spend, so like there's all these different pieces and then pull in the whole body image thing of how you see yourself. Sometimes you literally just can't get confidence just by putting the clothes on. And a lot of
Hmm.
stylists think that that's how you get confidence. But that's why the internal work that we've been talking about in this conversation has to be there.
Hmm.
You have to get the client over the hump about money, body, all of the things that come first. And then all of a sudden they're receptive to putting on the outfit and actually feeling confident in the power of the outfit.
Hmm.
And then the
It's so
power is
true.
within themselves to like, ooh, I can take over the world now.
Hmm. Can I tell you? So I had a client recently, and the engagement didn't even include shopping. It was all about let's just explore what this whole style thing is all about. And we did a lot of work about, just identifying style types and things that she, would potentially want to add to her wardrobe, things like that. And it included a lot of things. And one of the conversations we had, um, it came out that she was reluctant to step up her style because once she starts getting the attention, she doesn't know how to deal with all the attention that she's going to get. And I'm like, okay, now we can work with this because it's
See?
like
Yes.
you have a great body, you have great clothes, like there's something that's, kind of holding you back. And it's usually these kinds of things, or someone, told you when you were younger you had knobby knees or that you can't wear this color. And it can mess you up for life.
Yes. 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 It's crazy how many pieces have to come together for someone to fully express themselves in their style.
Hmm. Hmm. So,
And
what would you say is one of the biggest mistakes women make when it comes to their personal style?
I mean, definitely not being willing to do the work and being aware of the work that's required. Like that's number one, but nobody's really going to figure that out or know what to do with that mistake, here's the secret: hire someone who can help you. But I
Mm.
think the biggest mistake is women thinking that if they just put on the outfit that they see in the magazine or they see on the influencer, that that's going to change their lives. And I think that's where a lot of rookie stylists make mistakes because they've bought into that narrative too. And
Mhm.
that's the narrative that they're selling their clients. Change your clothes, change your life. But it's like, change your clothes, change your mindset, change how you approach your body,
Mhm.
change your clothes, and then change your life. So women just waste so much money. They buy the outfit for the occasion. They buy the outfit for the date. They buy the outfit because it's on sale. They buy the outfit because it's the label. And they're like, this didn't do the thing that they said it was going to do.
Mhm.
And
Because
then
you
they
don't know how
feel
to hook this shit up. You need
right.
to hire a stylist.
Yeah. Because the stylist will help you pick the right things and feel good. Like for so many of my clients, it's been baby steps. I know how to transform a person from like 0 to 60. I know how to do that, but I know mentally they're not ready for that.
Mhm.
So it's like, I need to make you feel really good wearing jeans and the plain t-shirt before we can start adding like a whole bunch of other crazy other stuff to it.
Mhm. And the thing is, it's like people they say style doesn't matter until they put on something that makes them feel really good. It's like
The thing is they know on some level that it does matter. It's just how long are you going to let it go? And I think it's our job as stylists to be able to speak to the feelings that our clients are having that they've stuffed down. Like think about how many people, ourselves included, will stuff down feelings because we don't want to feel them. But our clients are passing up opportunities because they don't feel comfortable in how they look. They're not going to the beach. They're not having their pictures taken. They're not buying the thing that is like the freaking perfect thing. It's all of these things that are holding them back that we have to bring to the forefront. So they're like, oh, this does matter. Like, I
mhm.
hate how I look so much and my clothes are so whack that I'm not taking pictures and not leaving memories behind for my loved
Right.
ones. I don't want to be in
Right.
a picture,
Right. Which is yeah, yeah.
you know? Or
Mhm.
I'm saying yes to going to a thing and I'm stressing out, spending the whole time stressing out about what to wear. And then when I get there, I just wore whatever dumpy old thing because style doesn't matter. And then the whole time you're feeling self-conscious because everybody looks better than you. You think everybody's staring at you and you're not in the moment. Like, how many moments are you missing out on because style doesn't matter? You know it matters. You
Mhm.
need to be reminded that it matters, that you're
They need
losing
to be
out on
reminded. And they need a few tips and tricks that are customized that they can apply to their lifestyle. That's why they need personal stylists.
yeah.
Well,
It's
the
just like
right personal stylist, actually, the right personal stylist.
you need any professional when you don't know how to do a certain thing. You
Hmm.
know, if you don't know how to eat right, you know in your mind, I should be eating right. These are the right things to eat, but I'm overwhelmed, confused. You have the right person. It's like, hey, just do this, this, and this.
Hmm.
Just make your grocery list like this, and this. You're like, thank you, got it. It's the same thing with a stylist. If you're not skilled in a certain area, that is important. Appearance, health, all those things are all important.
Yeah.
You get someone that can make it simple for you and shortcut it. And now you have a skill that you can always use in your life. You have to get
Hmm.
dressed every day.
Hmm.
You just
Hmm.
do.
Hmm. And so this is a public service announcement for, those people who think that stylists aren't important. I said I wasn't going to try to convince anybody of everything or of anything, but here it is. You have two Laurens. So this episode is called Lauren Squares, breaking down business, style, and life. These are the reasons why you need a personal stylist, because as Lauren said, a personal stylist can help you cut through the clutter. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions that people have about personal stylists, in addition to an everyday woman can have a personal stylist. But the thing is, we don't come in and just try to change your life overnight. Typically, my approach is to identify, okay, what's the whole situation and what are we going to try to work on first? Like, what are the biggest, most impactful things that we can change that aren't going to push the person over the edge? Because you can't, just buy a completely different wardrobe, a completely different style, and expect someone to be comfortable, which is essentially what you're trying to say. So, one styling engagement can actually be very intense, but we only accomplish a few key things. Personal stylists can work with you on an ongoing basis. So these are the things that I, educate my clients about. But what are the other types of things that you think, everyday women should know about personal stylists that they may not know?
I think they need to know that we're not judging them. We're not judging their size. We're not judging, what's in their closet. Like, we're literally just here to help you. Like, we're not the same people. We're not the snooty workers in the boutique, you know?
Like in Pretty Woman.
Yeah. I mean, that's a real fear for a lot of women that
Mm,
don't want to go shopping because they feel like they're being judged. I know that clients don't want to work with stylists when they say, "Oh, I want to wait till I lose the weight." They
mm,
don't feel comfortable with who they are, and they think that we're judging them. When
mhm,
I do a closet cleanse, like, "Oh, just, ignore that." I'm like, "Honey, I don't care. It's just, it's like when you go to the
mhm,
doctor, you go to the gynecologist, how many crotches have they seen? They're not sitting there and going home at night like, wow, that was a crazy one. It's just like, it's just their job, like, it's our job to be neutral and to like be helpful. So I would say that's a big piece that I'd want people to know. It's not as scary. It's not scary. It's fun.
mhm, mhm. It is, and it's for me, it's a win, when I can get my clients to feel good about themselves or realize you actually have more options sitting right here in your closet. Like, you don't have to go shopping all the time. You have a whole bunch of things right here. You just need a few ideas on how you can mix and match things. So,
Yeah, it's a fresh pair of eyes on your stuff. Like, how freaking cool is
exactly,
that?
exactly. Okay, so let's move into the last segment, which is going to cover um, so Lauren, the wild card. So we know that you have a spicy, interesting personality. And depending on, the day or the topic, you may get like a Laurenism or a Lauren rant or something like that. So tell us something spicy, something unexpected about Lauren Messiah that we may not otherwise know.
I don't know. I don't know. The spices just kind of come out. I'm a multi-faceted person. I think
Hmm.
people that like really get to know me are like, wow, like like there's a lot. Like, I'm spicy and I'm outspoken, but I'm also a homebody. I also like make doll houses as a hobby. I'm obsessed with my cat and dog, but like also I'll like cuss someone out in a heartbeat. It's
Hmm.
just like,
Hmm.
I don't know. Like, I'm just okay with the different layers of who I am.
So you kind of remind me of myself in certain ways because I'm also an introvert and, we're all very layered. And I know what it took me to get to a place where I was more comfortable using my voice and speaking up and being more assertive. So, what was it for you that helped you transition into someone who was more shy and introverted into someone who's outspoken?
I think over the years, I just started to like get over myself and to realize like nobody's thinking about you that much. Like, it was just always my goal to like make sure everyone was comfortable.
Mm,
Everybody liked me, but it was so exhausting to always have to like change for that.
mm-hmm,
It was actually funny. So you found me on YouTube, and it's been a long time since I've created YouTube videos. And recently I was like, you know what? I missed the YouTube channel. I'm going to bring it back. So yesterday I put out my first new YouTube video, and I made the decision that, you know what? I miss YouTube videos, but I don't miss all of the stuff that went into making YouTube videos before, which was I had a film crew, I had an editing crew. It was
mm-hmm,
one big day of batch shooting and all these different outfits and quick changes. And I don't want to do that. I said, I just want to sit here at my desk with my webcam and I'm just going to make a video. And I'm not going to have a schedule. I'm doing whatever the hell I want. So when I was recording the video, I'm like, I'm back. My channel's back. Here's the deal. Here's how the channel goes. I always get comments and emails like, I wish you'd try on clothes and show the clothes. I go, I don't do that. Find another channel. So I felt so free because I was remembering the time when I started my channel, and it was the first time I really put myself out there. Before that, I was doing blogging. So I was writing and I'd be kind of protected behind the screen. But once I came out and just started talking on video, people really liked it. And other people were really critical. Why are you wearing that? Why are you talking like that? Why, this, and this. And I would get so in my head where I'm like, okay, I need a different outfit. Okay, this type of video, maybe I should act more professional. Well, maybe I should try not to do this. And I'm like, oh my God, it was so exhausting, getting worried about what comments would come up. And then when I shot the other day, I'm like, I have come so far where I literally don't care because I know the reality of life. If you don't like my channel, bye-bye. There's about 1,000,000 trillion other channels on YouTube. Go find it. And it was the first time I just felt like, not the first time, but the first time on YouTube where I just felt totally free to just put all the cards out there. Because at the end of the day, I only want the people who are going to rock with me. Like y'all know what you walked into. Like, it's too exhausting to undo it after. So I have just found so much more freedom in being outspoken and being myself because I just don't have the energy anymore to pretend to be anybody else.
It's true. And, this industry and, the way things are with social media and everyone having the ability to put themselves out there and everyone having access, it's like there is a lot of clutter. There is a lot of stuff. But it's like, to your point, if you don't like me, keep it moving because there's somebody else out there doing the same thing that 50,000 other people are doing. So go follow that. Like, it's really about finding what makes you an individual and authentic and things like that. And, I've been off social media for a little while, but when I get back on, it's always like, okay, well, what am I going to do now that makes sense to me? Because people will be quick to tell you how you should run your business and what kind of content you should make and all these other things. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And if it gets me 5 views versus 50,000 views, I don't care because it's doing what is authentic to me. Like, I don't want to do the same thing that everybody else is doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's all about putting things in alignment. So I think it can go back to sometimes being too rebellious, like when we think about our clients who are, style doesn't matter. I'm going to do me. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. And it's like, well, you can, but you also have to be aware that maybe the results won't be the results that you want, So it's like, I could post whatever the hell I want on YouTube because it feels authentic to me, but I also have the bigger picture in mind of what I want. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I'm going to create content and people please so I get the most likes and the most views and the biggest pool of people, I got this lesson. I was doing some Instagram and TikTok content, and one video in particular on Instagram went super viral. People just didn't freaking get it. Like, the content was made for stylists, and everyone and their mama had something to say that weren't stylists. I had all of these new followers. I'm like, none of these followers matter because they're not stylists. They're not going to hire me. So what the hell was the point? So for me, it's like, if I can be myself, if I can create content that is in alignment with my business and who I'm trying to attract, I'd rather attract 10 clients that are going to buy all my programs and want to have coaching with me, or I can have thousands of people who are not interested in anything, So if you go too far off the pasture and you're like, I'm just doing me, it's like, well, you forgot about what you're here for anyways. If I just want to create content for me, then I just do it for me and I don't have a business. But I have a business because I am being of service. And in order to be of service, I have to have some sort of direction, but I also have to people please about the silly stuff that doesn't have anything to do with the mission at all. If you don't like
Mhm.
my jeans, suck it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. But it
It's
doesn't mean I'm going
true.
to do a video on dollhouses because I freaking feel like it. It's like that has nothing to do with my mission or my vision.
Right. Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. So, okay. So we chatted about a number of topics. We're going to close out soon, but before we do, um, I would like for you to give a piece of either style advice or just life advice based on anything Lauren Messiah wants to share.
Mm. I guess my biggest piece of advice, and my students will know this, is like find, this is a common term in business. We talk about it in the program, but like find your why. Like find your actual purpose that fuels what you do. I have so many students and friends that want to start businesses and they're just like, what? I'm good at the thing. I'm just going to start it. I'm just going to do it. Or I want this. I'm just going to wear it. Like I'm just going to do it. Actually take a moment to figure out what is the purpose behind what you're doing. What is the purpose behind what you're wearing and how you want to show yourself to the world? What is the purpose of your business? My purpose is to create the best stylists in the world. I want them to be well-rounded. I want them to be responsible with all the women who are entrusting us with their style and their money. I want people to be the best. It's
Hmm.
just a personal thing of mine. I always strive to do the best. I want other people. So it's not like, oh, I'm just going to put stuff out because I can and because I'm good at it and because I want money. It's like, no, figure out why you do the things that you do for anything in life.
Yeah, that's a good one because you know, when it comes down to it, you think it's about all the glitz and the glamour and the clothes. And when I'm sitting here doing spreadsheets trying to reconcile all the purchases against the credit card statements and all that stuff, I'm like, this part is not so fun. You know what I'm saying? So you really have to love it and you really have to honestly learn about business. So I have an extensive business background because I've been in corporate for a while, but I just feel like social media and there's a lot of pressure for people to be entrepreneurs and quit your job and it's like you still have to learn how to operate a business.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. The worst why is like, because I hate working for other people and I want to make a lot of money. Like, no, boo.
you're going to be working a lot
You're
harder
gonna
for yourself.
yes, yes. You're like, oh, I'm sick of this. I'm like, you're gonna be like 80 times more stressed and work like way more working for yourself. It's not the land of like unicorns and magical
Yeah,
things. That
because you're
happens
responsible
too.
for everything.
Everything. Yourself, your finances, your clients, your family, everything. It's a lot.
Everything. So, Lauren, I appreciate your time. Our paths obviously are going to cross again. Um, two things before we leave. The first thing is, who is one of your favorite style icons? And then the second is, where can people find you?
Favorite style icon, I think, will always be Rihanna, even though I feel like her style is just kind of maybe lost her footing a tiny bit.
I kind of agree. Sorry,
Yeah,
Riri.
she's lost her footing a little bit. But I think it's more about what she represents in terms of style. We've seen her
Hmm.
body change over the years. We've seen her pregnant. We've seen her experiment with hair, with clothes, with everything. And like, she just has that swag that she can just pull stuff off. And I appreciate the, fearlessness, speaking to your
Hmm.
title, the fearlessness that she has. And I love that. That's what I like to seek is that style, freedom and fearlessness. So she's my like number
Yeah.
one icon. And
Yeah.
then where to find me? You can find me on Instagram, handles Lauren Messiah, and you can find me on YouTube, also Lauren Messiah.
So there you have it. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, to another edition of The Secrets of Stylish Women with Lauren Messiah, personal stylist and author and coach and just fabulous woman about to be a mama. So congratulations on that. So thank you for joining me, Lauren. And to everyone else watching, please tune in again soon for the next episode of The Secrets of Stylish Women. Bye now.